Hello and welcome to Backchannel. This is the only place that you can talk live, chat live with your hosts live, like me and Will right here, right now, here on your Amazon Echo show. Hello, Will.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
You've been very festive.
Thank you. Welcome to Kate's Positivity Island. This is an hour where we like to focus in on some of the good news that's going around the world right now, just to give us that little island of positivity in your day. We're here for the next hour. I do a podcast called Everyday Positivity, and today we're doing something very special, aren't we, Will?
Yes, we are. Tell us all about it, Kate.
Tell us all about it.
Tell us all about it.
We are live in the Everyday Positivity Facebook group today. So I need to explain a few things so that everybody feels like they can be involved. So you can view this on Backchannel on your Amazon Echo show if you are in North America. So in North America, you can go to your Amazon Echo and ask your Amazon Echo, Eliza, shall we say, to open Backchannel. If you open Backchannel, you'll be able to see us there on the screen and you'll be able to chat completely live. And when I say that, I mean you can talk to your Eliza and ask her to say stuff to us. And you use the word say to do that. So, for example, if you wanted to say, hi, Kate and Will, you'd say, Eliza, say, hello, Kate and Will, and it comes through instantly. Do not be afraid. Be reassured that we block out any swear words, so no one can see any swear words. If you sometimes there's a few wiggles in there, like it is obviously working out what you've said, and you might feel like you need to say it a couple of times. I remember a lady called Tennille joining in one time, and she came up as Danny, but we went with it. It was fine. We worked it all out. But it's great to see you chatting in there because you can also chat with other hosts as well. For example, someone has already been in touch. Sunny, good morning, Kate and Will. Morning. You're looking very festive and cute. Thanks. I made the effort. Sunny, Will decided not to.
I'm just all grey today. It's
I know,
festive,
very grey. And I'm very brown in my Christmas pudding top. However, if you don't have an Amazon Echo show and you're not in the US, this is how you take part. If you are watching on the Facebook Live, I can't see any of the comments in Facebook Live, so I need you to do something for me. I need you to go to backchannel.tv, and right there you can type in your comments. And yeah, it'll take you a couple of seconds to type in, and we'll keep coming back round, but you're going to be very much featured in today's show in this island of positivity that we like to create. And the first thing I want to ask you is, and I'll ask this to you, Will, as well, what's the best thing that's happened in the last 24 hours, Will?
That's a great question.
Thanks.
The best thing that's happened to me in the past 24 hours is can I use a prop? Can I show you?
You can use a prop. Props are featuring heavily today, I think.
I got a delivery from that I wasn't expecting.
Oh.
And it was this tiny Christmas tree.
Oh, look. Why can you put that in the foreground? Because then you've got a tree and I've got a tree. And that has a bit of colour. Like
maybe
Sunny's saying, I'm not dressed up either, Will. No worries. Come on, you can find a spot for your Christmas tree. Come on.
Oh, wait, I don't think it's going to be a view, though, wherever I put it. Anyway.
Put it on your lap.
It was from it's very prickly. It was from my parents, and it's got lights on it as well, and I got to decorate it.
Oh, look.
So it made me feel extra festive.
Did you just turn the lights on?
Yeah.
Do it again.
They're cute.
Do it again. Oh, look.
Aren't
so
they
cute.
pretty?
That's so cute. I'm doing a bit of this today because I've got my screen down here where I can see you.
Yeah.
And the camera up here where I can see you. We've got lots of people in the chat already. Elizabeth, good morning, everybody from beautiful Colorado. Good morning. Obviously, if you're watching in the UK, it's afternoon. So we've got a whole thing going on. So we'll just say good. Good hello.
Good day.
Good hello. Kalimera, Kalispera. That's Greek. Okay. The best thing that's happened for me in the last 24 hours is I found a Christmas song that I never knew existed.
Oh my goodness, that's exciting.
I know, right? So do you have any bands in your life or artists in your life, music, that you've kind of got into as you've got older? So they're old. They've been around for a long time. In fact, the band I'm talking about don't exist anymore. They split up many, many moons ago. But they're like one of my favorite bands now that I'm in my 40s. What about you?
Okay.
Have you got any?
Yeah, kind of. I do. There's an album that I discovered recently that's from like 2015. So
Yeah.
not that long ago, but not
No.
super recent. But I've been listening to that loads, and that's been on repeat for me.
What's the album? What's the artist? Fill us in.
It's Khaled's 2015 album American Teen.
DJ Khaled.
No, the other Khaled.
Khaled. Okay.
Khaled.
Mine, I'm going to sound very old when I say this. But
What?
in the 80s, there was a band called Cocteau Twins.
Okay.
And they are very kind of synthesizery, quite mystical. And I think when I was about 15, I'd have thought, oh, this is dull. But actually, as an adult, I'm like, oh, I really like this. It makes me feel very calm inside and very loved. And one of my they're called the Cocteau Twins, or Cocteau Twins, not the. It's very important to get the right on a band,
Yeah.
I think. So they're called Cocteau Twins, and they did a version of Frosty the Snowman, and I didn't know until like an hour ago, and it's brought me so much joy. So not only is Frosty the Snowman a great song, you'll know it. It's Frosty the Snowman, but you'll know the Renette's version that goes like this. Frosty the Snowman. It's so amazing.
So
It's
they
an
were in the
amazing
room.
song. And then this one, Cocteau Twins, goes, Frosty the Snowman. And I don't know how they've done it, but all of their music sounds like it's yanking on your heartstrings. And that's what they've done. So that's brought me so much joy.
And
Go on.
I was going to say, since you've discovered it, how many times do you think you've listened to it?
3 times. And I've sent it to all my Cocteau Twin fan friends.
Yeah.
So yeah, look at that. Just like, I love it when something like that happens and you're like, oh, it makes me think like there's this whole kind of cavern of time and there's so much in it that we've missed already. And yet we're creating more stuff all of the time. That's too much, isn't it? I think the space-time continuum would implode.
It's a lot.
In the last 24 hours, the best thing that's happened to me is I had a very nice time curled up with some nice hot tea and an audiobook. Oh, Sunny, please tell us what you are listening to, please, because audiobooks are very, very good. What's your favourite audiobook, Will? Do you have one?
Yeah, it's a series called there's like they're called like the Something Like series. So it's like something like summer, something like autumn, something like winter. It's like, and I've only ever listened to them on audio, and I actually met the guy who read them. He's called Kevin Offrey, who does podcasts and audiobooks and a voiceover, and it's just nice to listen to something. It's different from reading it, I think.
Yeah, it definitely is. And also, like the first audiobook I listened to was by Patti Smith. It was her autobiography memoirs called Just Kids, which is a great book, but it's even better when she reads it. And my favorite thing is that her, you know, like some people say plastic instead of plastic, and it's just like completely unique to them.
Yeah.
She says pillar instead of pillow.
Oh wow, okay.
I put my head on the pillar, and I was like, oh, that's what I love, is that you hear the different accents and everything in those audiobooks. Like when you I think Bryan Cranston, for example, I listened to his audiobook and it's him doing it. And it's like, oh, it's so good hearing him do all the character voices when he means the character voices to happen and all of that kind of stuff. It was really good. Sonny said I would say it was super relaxing, but I'm currently reading Pet Sematary by Stephen King. I've done a Stephen King audiobook before. It's quite haunting.
Yeah.
What were you going to say? Sorry, I just talked.
I was going to say, no, you're right. I was going to say it's good to hear the authors read their own books.
Yeah.
I like that. They can do it like nobody else can.
I do think there's a slight distinction on audiobooks, though. I find it quite difficult to listen to fiction on audiobook, but I like listening to non-fiction. So if it's written in the first person, and that's why the biographies are so good. I want to listen to Bob Mortimer's, actually, because I think that one will be quite good. Because I listened to another Bob Mortimer book. Comedian Bob Mortimer and Paul Whitehouse, British comedians, very funny, do a whole series about going fishing called Gone Fishing. So it's all been on TV. And then they've done a book, and I keep listening to it to fall asleep to. And I keep waking up in it, and I'm like, is this a book or is this a podcast? So I think they go off script quite a lot. So I think they're reading, and then they have a bit of a chat about what's in the book.
Nice. The mixture.
So it's really good. It's really nice. So yeah, absolutely love sitting and listening to an audiobook while drinking nice hot tea. So for you to take part today in this positivity island, please could you send your best thing that's happened in the last 24 hours. And to take part, all you have to do is if you're in the US and you're watching on an Echo show, then say Eliza, then you use the keyword say, and then you put your best thing in the last 24 hours. So let me say that again. It's Eliza. I'm obviously replacing her name because if I say the real name, then the universe will implode. Frankly, your house will go mad.
Yep.
So Eliza, say, and then your 24, what the best thing that's happened in the last 24 hours. If you are watching on Facebook or if you are taking part on YouTube, which you can do if you go to Backchannel, or Twitter, we're at Backchannel Live. All you have to do is go to backchannel.tv and use the comment system there because I can't use the comment system on Facebook Live today. Well, I can, but I've got too many things open on my screen, and I need to focus on the one. Right, let's have a look, see what we've got. Oh, and we've got lots of people coming in around this kind of picking a favorite audiobook as well. I love nonfiction as well. So Hard to Be Sick by Tony Bernhardt. I have never heard of that before, but I imagine it's quite appropriate in modern times. How to Be Sick.
Yes.
So what else has been going on for you? How are the Christmas meltdowns going?
It's going okay. Yesterday was a very busy day. I'm really looking forward to. I'm finishing on Thursday after our show. So I've got a very specific end time in sight.
Yeah, 1 minute past the end of the show, I noticed.
1 minute past the end of the show. My out of office goes on. Going home for Christmas. So I'm looking forward to that. And then work slowly starting to down. So winding down. It's nice. So
it is. It's pajama week, I think, in the office.
I think so. I'm going to be honest with you, Kate. It's every week is kind of pajama week.
Have you got your Christmas pajama pants on?
You know what, Kate? I have. That's the only thing that's not grey. It's all of this is grey, and then from my waist down.
And put a Christmas tree behind me. Got my Christmas pudding sweatshirt on, and I've not put any makeup on, which I'm really noticing in the lights today. But you've just gone grey. Yeah, apart from the fact that secret undercover Christmas pants
that nobody can see. Nobody's going to see.
Flash us a knee. Go on, give us your knee.
Do you want a knee?
Yeah.
Sometimes yesterday. This is a funny story. I think you'll like this. Okay. I was in an hour-long meeting with somebody who hadn't met before, and so I wanted to look, kind of quite as smart and professional as I could. But I leant back and I was sat with my knee on my chair, and you could just see my Christmas pajama bottoms. And I thought, oh my goodness, what are they going to think?
Is this where you admit that you are only wearing the same pair of trousers all week, or do you have 5 pairs like that?
Nope, I only have the one, and I'm getting my money's worth.
I went on holiday with a friend recently, and he turned up and he had this bright orange t-shirt on, like really bright orange. And he basically said, we sat down, ordered a beer, and he went, I just want everyone to know that I've bought 5 of these orange t-shirts.
That's good.
Which meant he'd brought one and he was hoping to get away with it.
Yeah.
Hand luggage only.
Yeah. That's the way to do it.
It is the way to do it. Right. So because we are here and we are having a Positivity Island hour with you, we like to bring you some good news, don't we?
Yes, we do. It's my favourite part of the show.
And we bear with this because we're trying out new stuff. Will, do the bong. Headline.
Dramatic. £600,000 plan to create more green spaces in London.
Whoa! Tell us about it.
So there's central London, as you might expect, capital, not tons of green spaces. So as kind of part of a plan to improve that, Sadiq Khan, who's the mayor of Greater London, he's kind of set all this money aside to create some new green spaces, and part of it's about biodiversity and all of that kind of thing. But a lot of it is about, and which is why I picked it for this show, is about having green spaces for people to go to in the city.
Which is amazing, right? So when I went to Vancouver many years ago, the one thing that struck me when I went there was that there was so much space. Like it wasn't like urban packed together. There were real effort when they built the city to put in these like little tiny green spaces, even like
Yes.
trees and things like that, and just
Mhm.
space in between the buildings. And I think what's really interesting about this, and what I love about this, is that, well, there are many things. I think everybody here today is welcome, and everybody here today loves a bit of nature.
Mhm.
And I can't think that we've got through the last 2 years without some nod to the fact that actually we are nature's beings, and being out in nature is so important to everything, whether it be, you know, just feeling reconnected with the earth, feeling connected with just nature, big tip, right?
Yeah.
In Manchester, we're building lots of green spaces. There's the urban park being built up over in Mayfield, I think it is. And again, it's that real move in urban development towards creating these green spaces. And what I think it represents is that sometimes the stuff that you don't realize you don't, oh, how do I put this? There's kind of this sense that we always are working towards urgent, right? We're working towards, this is what we need right now, this is what we need right now, this is what we need right now. And so our health sometimes goes on the back burner for that. It's important, but it's not, doesn't ever feel urgent.
Mm.
And in that situation, you have to create space to make it easy for health to become a priority, or something that's not urgent to become a priority. And that's what these urban spaces represent, I think, these kind of, what Sadiq Khan is talking about, this, you know, more green spaces in London, more rewilding, more nature, more diversity of being. I mean, what did he say? He said that it would ensure all Londoners have a thriving web of nature on their doorstep. I mean, how wonderful is that? And it's that thing of, I don't know if you do it, but you have to just remember sometimes to just create space for the things that you need.
Yeah, absolutely. I live in quite a packed community. There's a lot of students here. There's a lot of young people like us. So escaping to like our local parks and stuff like that, it's
Yeah.
just it makes such a world of difference. Even um, recently, there's been more and more houseplants keep cropping up in my house that are my
Ah,
housemates, and a couple of them are
nice.
mine. And even that makes so much difference because it's
It
a bit of
does.
color. It makes it
Yeah,
feel a bit lighter and a bit more, it has alive. Even a tiny little Christmas tree.
I know.
Um,
With the lights on, it is so cute.
it is very cute. So
It's
yes, we're a
so
big fan
cute.
of green spaces.
Yeah, big fan of green spaces, but also it's that mindset. So when you come to like clearing up your house or tidying up your house, which I have to do regularly, frankly. But I know, when you're kind of it's that minimalist way of thinking, because actually you're actually creating space. You're not clearing out your stuff, you're creating space. And so again, it's rather than filling the space with stuff, it's creating the space to be space. And sometimes that's really difficult because it's almost like space you can't see. So
Yeah.
you see an area and you think, oh, something, a vase would be great in that spot there, or a vase or vase. But sometimes it's good to just leave it clear the space, rather than going, oh, I need to put something in it, just keep it clear. So I think that's something that, I mean, I really appreciate about that story. Right, bong number 2.
It's good.
Oh, I love this bong.
It's
Go.
good, isn't it? So, kind of whilst we're on the topic, I suppose, a hawthorn tree has been named 2021 Tree of the Year.
Whoa! I just
And
hit my
okay,
microphone.
I could see it. We talk every day, and I just know you've been thinking, Will, what has been Tree of the Year this
What
year?
has been Tree of the Year
It's
this
been
year?
on the tip of everybody's tongue for a long time.
I don't know why it wasn't in my Spotify Wrapped for 2021.
What
Tree of
was?
the Year.
It's a very important question. So it's a hawthorn tree, and it is ancient. It stood for at least half a century on a beach in Scotland. And I've got a picture of it actually. That if you're watching on an Echo show, I can show you.
Or in the Facebook group.
Or yes, if you're
Is
watching,
that the Tree of the
that
Year?
is the tree of the year.
Ah, hello, hawthorn tree.
So that's very cute.
So
It's a
this is
Scot.
the tree this is the tree of my year. Hang on a minute. I thought I had it, but
So let me tell you about. So
go on, you
now
tell
the
me.
tree of the year it goes on to compete in the European Tree of the Year for next year.
Oh
So
my god, there are heats and there are finals.
there are heats, it's finals. Like you go to like nationals or whatever. It's amazing. So this is a contest. It's run by the Woodland Trust, which they look after all kind of woodlands and outdoorsy things here in the UK. And yeah, it's just a Tree of the Year. Who would have thought that that was a thing that people
I
were
love that.
electing
I mean,
for?
if there was anything that you could win.
Yeah, of all
You know what I mean?
all the accolades to have in your name, but yeah,
Yeah.
and you know, people
If you
sent in
want to go
hundreds
on your
of
CV, I am Tree of the Year.
yes, and people sent in lots. There were lots of nominations for Tree of the Year.
Yeah, well, I bet it's one of these. Hang on. What's the Hawthorne story? Has the Hawthorne tree got a story?
I'm sure it has. I don't know what it is.
Right, I'm going to share my screen now. I only partially know what I'm doing, so hang on. Share screen. I can do it every time. It's like being, you know, when you're in Zoom and still doing Zoom meetings and still hang on, pressing the wrong. Can't hear it. Oh, right, here we go. Do you know this tree? Have you ever seen this tree before? Sycamore Gap.
No, I haven't.
Okay, so this is on Hadrian's Wall, right?
Oh
And it's
wow!
a famous tree. And the reason it's a famous tree is because it's in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
It's been in the movies.
It's been in the movies. And this year I went to Hadrian's Wall for the first time ever in my life ever. And believe me, I am going to there again.
Wow.
So yeah, and that time I will actually go to see Sycamore Gap. But I didn't actually make it on this trip. But this is like a famous tree. So this was the tree in my life of this year. How hilarious.
That was your tree of the Kate Cocker's Tree of the Year.
This is Kate Cocker's Tree of the Year. The heats will be over this end of this month, and then no, I'm kidding. Right, well, you're gonna have to unshare screen because I can't work out how to do it.
Okay.
It's only the 11th show. We should have worked that out by now. Right, we've got lots of. There's two more good news stories, isn't there? But let's just check in the chats. There's been quite a lot going on.
There's loads going on.
Ignoring it. So, Elizabeth says the best thing in the last 24 hours, which I want to find out from you too. The best thing in the last 24 hours is that I found a job, do it for a little extra cash and can do it on my own schedule. And it involves driving and I can listen to my books at the same time.
Ace.
That's the best thing that's happened in the last 24 hours. Kristen says, in the last 24 hours, I've faced the worst fibromyalgia pain I've ever had and got through it. Well done.
Nice.
And I've looked through the Everyday Positivity Workbook and identified other pages I want to work on first. Let me just show you what that's actually talking about.
We love the Everyday Positivity Workbook. There it is. Gorgeous.
Everyday Positivity Workbook. I'd be interested. Self-care goals and bucket list, which is... Oh, I'm not sure where it is. It's in here somewhere.
Yeah.
Keep talking, Will.
Whilst, if you've got your Everyday Positivity Workbook, there they are. There are the pages that Chris is
And then there's colouring in to do.
So if you've got your Everyday Positivity Workbook, we're dying to see some pictures of how you've coloured it in because they're just going to look so incredible.
It's funny, isn't it? Everyone's got theirs, and then they're going, "Oh, I'm waiting till Christmas because somebody else has bought it for me." And I'm like, "But I just want to see the coloured in pages."
Like. The designs are so gorgeous.
Yeah,
it's gonna look
I can't wait to see everybody's pictures coloured in. I'm really looking forward to it.
I think it's a great thing to do at Christmas as well.
Yeah, it is. Although I have to say, it has made me really question my level of focus because I coloured in. There's a page. The first page says Everyday Positivity across it, and I coloured in E V E. I'm bored.
I'm bored. Want to do something else now?
Oh, I really need to. Well, it's just phones, isn't it? Phones make just.
Yeah.
I think
I'm worried about
the habit of moving too fast.
Yeah.
And at the beginning of the year, my 3 words for this year were slow, optimum, and silly. And I think I've done pretty well on all of them. But it made me go, I still need to slow down. I still haven't quite mastered that. Stop, slow, focus, push through, and stay in that focus spot. Because I'm like a little like over the top of everything.
Yeah, there's always a lot going on, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. And if you get the opportunity to well, if you'd like to join Will and I over the Twixmas, they call it, period, on the 28th of December, I'm going to be running a masterclass on, well, it's about reflect and reset, basically, or rest and reset. So is it reflect and reset? Have we put rest and reset as the title? I think we might have done. It should be reflect and reset. So basically, we're going to go through a tool called the Wheel of Life and just look at the year and go, right, where in my life am I most satisfied? And where in my life am I least satisfied? And what do I need to do to kind of really bring up some of that satisfaction in my life? It's a really great way to, rather than go, right, I've got to set some goals and stick to this and I've got to get it all done in time. It's a really good way to just kind of have a good overview of your life, good think about it, and then move into the new year with a bit of new energy. So focus is definitely going to be one of my words for 2022. Do we have that? Do we have another good news story?
Yes, we do.
Go.
Should we go straight to Dolly News?
I'd like the other one. So Bong.
Okay. Two Santas give each other help on being Santa.
These are people that dress up as Santa, right? Because obviously Santa can't be everywhere all at once, so he needs people to represent him in certain places.
So these are representatives of Father Christmas, like professional representatives of Father Christmas who get
signed off by Mr. Christmas himself.
Yeah, Mr. Christmas. That's my new favorite one. So this is a story about this guy called Jerry, and he's been playing Santa professionally. He's been representing Santa professionally for a number of years. But then, because he's like retired now, I can't tell you exactly how old he is, but he's an older gentleman, as you have to be to play Father Christmas. So when he had to move some of his Santa work online, he kind of struggled with some of the logistics and some of the technical aspects. So he reached out to, and this is my favorite part of this story, the Santa Facebook group.
Oh!
Which is a group of people who are all representatives of Father Christmas for some help. And this is where he befriended this guy called Glenn Ford, who gave him advice on how to be Father Christmas online and how to, virtually meet all the kids online and everything like that. And now the two of them, they're like best Santa mates, and they help each other with all kinds of stuff about all kinds of various aspects about portraying Father Christmas.
Well, there's a number of things in there that I really love. The first thing is that imagine you could just clone yourself in that way.
Yes,
so
helpful.
When I have to take one child in one direction and another child in another direction, I sometimes ask for help because I can't clone myself today.
No.
Could someone come and pick up one of the children and take them in that direction? Like rugby, netball, that type of thing. And then the other thing is that we've not talked about are Facebook groups. Have you done yours yet?
No.
Right, okay. For the new year, at the moment, I've got 5 cake cockers in my Facebook.
You got 5 cake cockers?
I have 5 cake cockers.
I'm worried.
And you have 0 Will Dells because you have 0 Facebook group. Not even yourself.
You can't even count myself right now.
The Santa Facebook group, however, I'd like to join. What do we have to do to get into the Santa Facebook group, do you think?
I don't know, but I'm sure we can find that out. I imagine that you have to be part of your professional remit has to be portraying Father Christmas, which means, Kate, if you want into the Facebook group at some point before Christmas, you have to dress up as Father Christmas. Okay,
so here's my question to you and to you as well. So in answer to this question, I don't know what that noise is. If you're on Backchannel, watching on Backchannel, then don't forget that you can say Eliza and then use the word say, and then the answer to this current question. Or if you are watching or listening in other ways, go to backchannel.tv and you can leave your comments there. So I want you to answer this question without even thinking, okay? You're having a party. Family party.
Mm-hmm.
You need someone to dress up as Santa. Who in your family is that person? Go.
Either my father. If it can't be me, it's my dad. If it can't be me or my dad, if it can't be me, my first choice would be me, but my second choice is my dad.
I love that you went for you. What makes you think you've got Santa qualities.
Big round belly. No.
But a bowl full of jelly.
Yeah, untapped amounts of joy.
Oh,
And
okay. This is on the
ju-
Santa CV. Okay.
yeah, and just general Christmas cheer.
Okay.
Like I think my dad would be great at it, but I think he would get bored after 10 minutes.
Okay. A bit like me and my everyday positivity colouring
A
in.
bit like you and your everyday.
My own blooming book.
Also, I can't really grow that much of a beard in real life. So if I have
Yeah.
an excuse to put on a synthetic one, I'd be happy with that.
Oh my goodness. Have you tried growing a beard?
Yes. I'll show you some pictures at a later
Cool
date.
story, bro.
It's fine. Like the thing is that we have like a dormant ginger gene, so it comes in a bit orange, and I don't think it's a good look.
I think you're wrong.
Okay.
I think that you would have a good beard.
Should I grow one out?
I think you could do like a. I don't know about this reference. Gary Barlow beard.
Oh yeah.
I could
Okay.
take that. Lead singer,
Yeah.
take that. Lead singer. Yeah, lead singer. Sort of more like a stubbly look.
The thing is though, is that my close friend and housemate Chris, he has a really good beard. Like he's got a great beard. It's really full. It's really thick. He keeps it really well maintained. And I just think mine would pale in comparison a bit.
But you could still be Santa.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Kate, who's playing Father Christmas at your family party?
My Uncle Peter.
Uncle Peter. My dad's called Peter.
Is he?
Yeah.
My Uncle Peter has zero hair. So he hasn't got a
Okay.
beard or anything. He'd have to have the synthetic beard.
Mhm.
But it's exactly what you said, which is he's the one who's full of joy and could be really good fun.
Yeah. And I think the number one characteristic you're looking for in Santa is joy.
Yeah, we call him Uncle Grandpa because he's my dad's brother. So, and
Okay.
my dad is grandpa to my kids. So we have Uncle Grandpa. We get by that. You know, it's really hard to go, this is your great uncle sounds so boring, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's either that or it's you have to turn it into mega uncle or something like great kid.
Yeah,
I mean,
supreme.
great. And like my cousin's kids, my cousins.
yeah. Otherwise, it's confusing.
Cousin, first cousin wants removed. They're just cousins. So we have Uncle Grandpa, Uncle Peter. He would be brilliant. Now, interestingly, I have another friend who has a really lovely big white beard. And every year he gets his Santa suit out and goes and delights the children around the village. They go out
Incredible.
on where I grew up is a village called Lambourne, and it's horse country. So all of the stables that feed like the race course nearby are based in Lambourne. And so there's lots of like horse boxes around, and it's sort of tradition that Father Christmas goes around and delights the children of Lambourne on the back of a horse box, whatever it is. And he's got this lovely big beard, and he is made to be Father Christmas. It's like the one great thing he can do every single year. Guess what his name is?
What's his name?
Peter. Pete Penfold is his name.
That's great. That's a cracking name.
I know, it's a brilliant name. I've known him since I was a kid. But yeah, Pete Penfold, he's married to Siobhan Coppinger, who, if you've never seen Siobhan Coppinger's artwork, you've not lived. It's the most glorious artwork ever.
Wow.
One day I'm going to be so rich I can own one of her pieces of artwork just for joy. Oh, she's just a wonder. Anyway, Pete Penfold. So what we've said here, what are the characteristics of people who want to play Santa? Number one, oodles of joy.
Yeah.
To give.
Number two,
Peter.
Got to be called Peter. You got to be called Peter.
Quite simply, you've got to be called Peter.
Wow.
What have we got going on in the chat? Chanel says, hi.
Hello.
Okay. So that hasn't really interested people in the chat very much. Maybe we've just wanged on about that and we shouldn't have. I really want to know who in your family, if they've got to play Santa, bing, who is it?
If you had to elect one person
bing.
to be Father Christmas.
Mike Madden at my CrossFit box at the weekend, he played Santa. He's not called Peter.
Oh, no.
But he was very good. He was ringing his bell.
Okay, good.
It's just a bell. Okay, so finally, Dolly News.
I need a different Dolly News. I need like a country guitar.
Maybe, how hard do you think it would be to get a sound of Dolly Parton going bong?
when we book her on the show, if I leave one legacy in life, it's that I'm going to ask Dolly Parton to give me a bong.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm just not going to have a problem with that. Okay, Cocker. Why do we do Dolly News? No, I'm going to talk because you're.
We do Dolly News because Dolly Parton is the patron saint of everyday positivity. She is our spirit animal. She is everything that Dolly Parton sums up everything that I think being positive is all about. She's just so realistic about everything. She's like, well, you know, he was annoyed with me, but I'm fine with that because of course he was. Of course he was going to be annoyed with me. And she just, everything she does is like my version of positivity. And again, like I was saying earlier about Cocteau Twins, she's one of those artists that I've got into later in my life. Like when she was probably at the height of her career, it wasn't really for me. But Dolly now, I'm in 100%. So we do Dolly News every weekend.
The other day, I
every
found
day.
a new favourite Dolly Parton song, and I've been a Dolly fan for a couple of years now.
Sorry, say again.
I've got a new favourite Dolly song.
What is
even
it?
though I've been a fan of her for a couple of years. It's a cover of Harper Valley CTA, PTA even, which is about a mum who kind of like goes and stands up for herself in front of the school.
Amazing.
It's a good one.
So that's a bit like Coat of Many Colours, Dolly Parton.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah, nice.
Okay, so Dolly News is Dolly Parton breaks 3 world records.
What?
I know. Now, I'm going to level with you, Kate. She's
Yeah.
not really done anything. She's not, juggled the most chainsaws or anything like that.
Oh, okay.
Or stacked the most amount of Oreos on top of a budgie. Not that kind of world record.
Or made the biggest pizza.
Yeah, she's not done that. Sadly,
Okay.
although I'd be very interested.
You're getting quite confused here with Record Breakers, which used to be a TV show that was on when we were kids. No, not when you were a kid, because you're 20 years younger than me. Okay, fine, we'll move on.
Okay.
This is why we could never be in a relationship.
Yeah, okay, that's why. Most decades on the US Hot Country Songs chart for a female, which is 7. So she spent 7 decades.
7 decades?
Yes, that's correct. On the Hot Country Songs chart. Most number 1 hits on the same chart, Hot Country Songs chart by female artist, 25. Yeah, 25 number 1 hits.
Whoa.
And she also broke her existing record for the most hits on the chart by female artist with 109 songs.
That's like when you read out a telephone number and you leave the last number 9.
Yeah.
Songs. We have a world record in our house, you know. Shall I show you it?
Do you? Oh my goodness, it's in a frame and everything.
This is how they send it to you.
That's like a proper record, that is.
I know. So this is a Guinness World Record. It's mirrored, isn't it? I've mirrored my camera.
Yeah.
So I don't know that you can see it. Shall I unmirror my camera? Can I do that?
I think you can do that.
I think I can do that live. This is compelling content.
It's good, isn't it? Sunny said, "Nice, Will." I think just me, just being nice. There you go.
Oh, I look different. I do. I think I look a bit different. I think my face is different. Anyway, so this. Oh, I can't get out of settings. There we go. So this says, this is a Guinness World Record certificate. The fastest time to drink 500 milliliters of water is 1.75 seconds.
Okay.
Achieved by Tim Cocker, UK, during his breakfast show in London on the 9th of December 2014. That was a big year, 2014, because that was the year we got the we also had that viral video.
Oh,
year,
wow.
2014.
Big year for the Cocker family.
Big year for the Cocker family. So that's my husband. Basically, he can down a pint of beer quicker than anyone else in the world.
That is an accolade.
I mean, why he's not an Avenger is beyond me. So earlier, he hasn't done it for a really long time, and the kids have never seen him do it. So what? I went and got well, it wasn't 500 milliliters of water. It was the biggest glass that we had in the house, and this is what happened. 3, 2, 1. So the kid's clapping, and he's like, "That was rubbish. That was rubbish." It was quite slow, but even so, play it again. Watch his eyes.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. His eyes kind of flare. He's got
Yeah.
little eyes anyway. My lovely husband has teeny tiny eyes, and when he downs his water, they go really big. And he can't
Don't do that. Don't make that face.
So do you think the same thing happens to Dolly Parton when she's looking at all of her songs and going,
Yeah.
"Whoa!"
Or her records, her eyes pop out like in the cartoon. I think that's what happens. Sunny said, I wonder if she's on one of those services where you can pay them to send you a video. Do you know the kind of things you mean? So you can...
Yeah, I do.
And they're supposed to be for like, oh, I want you to wish my mum Tanya a happy birthday.
Yeah.
She's turned 50, blah, blah, blah. No, Dolly, I just want you to bong. Bong! That's all I want. I don't care how much it costs.
No, look, they're
Pay it.
very sus to these sort of things. I remember in my radio career when we went and interviewed Destiny's Child.
Oh,
So,
wow, that's a good one.
yeah, at the end, it was my job as producer to get like liners. So it was like, "Hey, we're Destiny's Child, and you're listening to Core Control on the radio." That stuff. So it was my job to get that. And Beyonce was very tuned into it because I think we were doing something like a mystery voice competition. And we got them to say words, and she said, "No, we're not doing it because you could put those words in any order, and that can mean we said anything." That wasn't our intention.
No, of course
But
not.
she was absolutely right. You could do
Yeah.
that. So they're quite savvy to it these days. And I do a lot of speaker bookings, and those sort of things in perpetuity. I think Dolly would be sus if we went, "Dolly, could you just say, 'Hi, I love you, bong'?"
I think she would say, William, I love you, but no.
Not "William, I love you, bong."
No, I don't think she would. Let's see. We need you to charm her first, Kate, and then I think she'll do whatever we ask.
Oh, I think I'd probably make her giggle on the bong thing, I think.
Yeah.
I'm just nipping to Facebook now because someone sent a really great picture of hang on. Oh, I can't get in. Facebook's being weird. But someone sent a really great picture of some mugs that they'd got.
Oh, yeah.
Who was that? Who was that? Was it Sunny?
Oh, it might have been Sunny. Sunny, were they your mugs? They were ace. I loved those.
A little stack of mugs that say 9 to 5. Things like that as well.
Yeah. My favourite one was a Cup of Ambition.
Ah, yes. Yes, it was Sunny. She's like, that was me on the chat, which is brilliant. Okay. So we've done all the good news. There are trees being put up in London. There's natural space being built into our cities, which is amazing. We've got an award-winning tree, which is a hawthorn on a Scottish beach, that's gone through to the next round. That's the bit that gets me. Like, we've won the heat. Now we're going through to the next round. We've got Santas helping Santas. We've got world records going off left, right, and centre with Dolly Bong. Dolly Bong. And we've got Peters being Santas everywhere.
Yeah.
Shall we look at today's Everyday Positivity episode?
Yes.
So this week on Everyday Positivity, I've taken the theme of gift giving because obviously we're coming up to Christmas, we've got a holiday season, there's a lot of gift giving going on. And I wanted to really focus in on gifts you can gift yourself. Time for giving gifts. And today I want you to think about a gift you can give yourself. All week I want to think about things that we can give ourselves. Gift yourself. And today, in the midst of everything, I want you to think about gifting yourself time. I talk about this a lot, that actually what we do is we race around, we think about other things, and we end up at the bottom of the list. And so today, I want you to think about this. If you had booked a meeting in and someone tried to get hold of you in that time, you would say, "Oh, sorry, I wasn't available." And yet if we went and did something for ourselves, we wouldn't think of it as that important. And so we would think, actually, we've got to deal with this thing for somebody else first before we deal with ourselves. So what I want you to do today is, in the midst of everything, I want you to look in your diary. I want you to look ahead, and I want you to book out an hour just for you. And I want you to call it your me meeting. It's non-negotiable. That hour is just for you. No one else can get into it. It's your time and you can do what it is that you want with it. So today's gift in the build up to Christmas is time. Gift yourself time. Do you gift yourself time?
I know as much as I should. Oh, the part that really sticks out of that for me is that it's non-negotiable part.
Yeah, non-negotiable. That's
Because
hard.
if I did book in a thing for me, it would be so easy for me to be like, oh well, I don't need to do that because now I need to do this for somebody else instead.
Mm-hmm.
But no, because you wouldn't do that for anybody else. You wouldn't let somebody else jump in a meeting space, would you?
No. I was speaking to someone earlier and she said she's really busy in the build up to Christmas, and she said, I don't have kids or anything, and I'm still really busy. And as she was saying it, it occurred to me that when you have kids, it forces you to allocate yourself time, because essentially it's not time for you, it's time for them, but it's your family time, right?
Yeah.
So I think you'll speak to countless parents who, once they go back to work after having kids, they're much better at leaving to get home. And the point of this is that you go, why wasn't I doing that before? Why wasn't I prioritizing something? Why wasn't I prioritizing me? Why am I not that important? And so this idea of gifting yourself time, it works in lots of ways, actually, because it's about saying, no, this is my time now and no one else is allowed in it. As I said, if you'd booked a meeting with someone, you'd say, oh, I've got a meeting, I can't come and do that.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's you booking yourself out an hour, you're like, oh no, I can step into that time completely. It's fine. It's not fine. This is your time. This is thinking time. Going into the new year, it's one of the things that I'm looking at in the business is that I'm calling it the magic quadrant.
I love that. It reminds me of the Bermuda Triangle for some reason.
It's a magic quadrant. Well, interestingly, so have you ever heard, when it comes to time management, there's this way of separating it up, like 4 quadrants, and you put different jobs into different quadrants. And the quadrant, like the top quadrant is urgent stuff and important stuff. So that gets done really quickly.
Yeah.
Then urgent and non-important tends to get done because it's urgent, but it's non-important because really it's for other people, right?
Yeah.
Then there's non-urgent and not important, which is sort of left to the wayside, fine. But the magic quadrant is the important but not urgent stuff.
Oh, wow.
And that's the stuff that if you put attention into that quadrant, that's where stuff can really grow. So that is when you're at work, you know you need to get better at something, but you're not delivering you're not putting any time into it, right? That's your sharpening time. This is 80-20 thing, isn't it? 80% is delivery, 20% learning. And that 20% time that you spend can really impact that 80%. And that sits in the magic quadrant. For me, it's things like keeping an eye on the budgets and the finances and making sure you do your invoices, all those things. The magic quadrant, if you were a house, it's basically doing your pointing. It's the least glamorous stuff. But if you've got a hole in your wall, your house is going to fall down, right?
Yeah.
So I've started calling it the magic quadrant because this is my way of making it more fun and important and everything. So I'm going to have magic quadrant time in the new year, and I think it's going to be a Friday. It's going to be completely empty a Friday. It's just going to be magic quadrant time. And magic quadrant time, is coaching the team. It's managing the people that I work with, helping them out, making sure their learning is placed. I've written a list of all of the things that sit in the magic quadrant. And I have to make it non-negotiable because actually that's where the magic really does happen. And it's drawing that line, and it's imagining that is time that if Elton John came along and said, Kate, I need presenter coaching, not even Elton John would get my time on a Friday. It's because I'm sorry, Elton John. Magic quadrant time. But my favourite song is Rolling Like Thunder. Guess what? It's called It's Blues. So I know. So that's like, it's more than me time. It's actually kind of going, this time to do this stuff is really important because there's rest time, right? And that's really important. Resting is good. It's difficult to get to, but actually your body at some point is going to go, babes, you got to rest. But it's the productive magic quadrant time that I think is something that we don't really put enough time into. That's just sitting and thinking, right?
Yeah, but like you said, that's where growth happens.
Yeah.
When you put time into the stuff that falls into the magic quadrant, that's how things will get better. That's how you'll move on to bigger things. That's where you'll kind of realize some of your goals and ambitions and stuff.
Yeah.
It's so
And every
valuable.
time I sit in that quadrant, the stress from the other 3 goes away. And my coach said the other day when we were talking about this, he said that you can kind of draw a triangle. It's like the Bermuda Triangle of business. Everything just gets lost in that space of urgent, important, urgent, non-important, non-important, non-urgent. And actually the magic quadrant is the one to work on. Equally, he said everybody struggles with it. I was like, right, I'm going to be the first person in the planet who can
To
cope with the magic
master.
I'm going to master the magic quadrant.
I
So,
think the secret behind it is going to be, Kate, like taping out a big corner of your house to sit in. Like
yeah,
pick a room and on
yeah.
the floor do a big masking tape box, and that's going to be the magic quadrant.
I feel like I need some sort of Aladdin style magic carpet as well
Yeah, that would
to
also
do it.
work. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be good. But these are the things that you have to put in place, and then you have to stick with it past that 4th go where someone has got in on that.
Mm.
So, yeah, I've already said to someone I can't do Fridays. That's non-client time. So yeah, so non-negotiables is quite tricky. But let me put it to you like this. When I had the babies and they were really little, I used to go to like mum and toddler groups, and I was working as a freelancer at the time. And the number of times I'd come out of that mum and toddler group and realize, oh, I've missed a couple of emails. And I'd reply and I go, sorry, I was in meetings. I wasn't. I was dealing with nappies and drawing aeroplanes for kids and having a whale of a time. But for all intents and purposes, no one else needs to know that, you know? It's like I was in meetings, I was managing my energy, I was spending time with my family, and that is as important as being in a meeting. So today, Sunny says it, me time is so important. It really, really is. Oh, and Elizabeth says, remind me how to get the workbook. The workbook, which will help you with your me time, is available on Amazon. All you have to do is search for the Everyday Positivity Workbook with Kate Cocker. I've realised that should say by Kate Cocker, but never mind.
Oh,
We've
yeah.
we've only had it out for a month.
We've only sold a couple of 100 copies.
Oh, whoops.
Because it's Everyday Positivity with Kate Cocker. Isn't
Yeah,
it funny how you notice things?
I know. It's like the mistakes that happen that just appear, and you're like, you'd have never seen that.
It's not until somebody points them out. It happened to us.
Yeah, it did. So one of the things that I need, one of the things I wanted to just kind of say before we finish is that in a couple of weeks we're going to be doing a live webinar for we're doing a masterclass on Wheel of Life. Now the Wheel of Life is in the back of the workbook. Actually, it's a really good tool. I say it's in the back of the workbook, can't find it. It is, I promise. Here it is. There it is. It's in the back of the workbook. Wheel of Life. And it basically separates your life into different sections, and it's about how satisfied you are with each of those sections of your life. And by going through the process, what we'll do is we'll really dig into it in this masterclass, and you can reflect on the year that's gone, look at your life as it is right now, and really get a sense for what it is you'd like to push into with 2022. Like, which areas of your life are you struggling with? Which areas of your life are you surviving in rather than thriving in? And how can you make those better? And we'll look at that for the new year, rather than it being like specific New Year's resolutions that you just pluck out the sky and go, hey, I'd like to go to 8 windmills this year. This is about actually giving you the opportunity to experience some growth, some self-development, and true happiness. So we'll be doing that on the 28th of December, which I say sign up for now. If you're in the Facebook group, we've got the event in there already. It's in Eventbrite. I sign up for now because, trust me, by the 28th of December, you're not going to know what the 28th of December is, because it's going to be in between Christmas and New Year, and no one knows what day it is. It's going to feel like it's Sunday. Is it Sunday? Is it Thursday? Is it Sunday today? No, it's Tuesday, the 28th of December, and you've got a Wheel of Life masterclass this afternoon. So make sure that you're in on that as well.
Masterclass is free, isn't it, Kate?
Yes, that's absolutely right. Right, are we going to finish on some breathing?
I think we should.
Let's finish on some breathing. Right, so before you go back into the world, let's leave the island feeling refreshed and recouped. I want you to just close your eyes, get yourself level, take a few breaths, get that deep breath going. Right, this is good. So breathe in through your nose for 4 and out for 4. You take the breath. So in for 4 and out for 4. But I'm going to talk as you're breathing, so keep that pace going. And what I want you to think about is when you're breathing in, breathing right into your belly. So it's a really deep breath in, really pulling your diaphragm down, filling your lungs, and really visualizing the breath going right down to your belly button and filling that right up. And then as you breathe out on your out breath, I want you to feel like you're cleansing yourself and just pushing out as far as you can go. Now, you might find at this point that you're doing longer than 4 on the way out. That's okay. But really empty that tummy out and those lungs out. And we're going to give it 2 more breaths. In fact, it feels so nice. Let's keep going for 2 more. And 1 more. And then come back to me. And I hope that that has left you feeling refreshed, rested, and ready to go for the rest of the day. Thanks, Will.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here with us here on Backchannel. Don't forget, if you're in the US and you're on an Echo show, you can keep on with Backchannel. You just need to go to ask your Eliza to open Backchannel. And then if you want to take part in Backchannel elsewhere and you can't get it on your Echo show, then go and check out YouTube. It's Backchannel on YouTube and on Twitter. If you go to at Backchannel Live, it's the only place that you can chat live with the hosts. And on the Echo show in the North American territories, you can actually do it with your voice. So you use the word say and you then put your message in as well, which is a really great experience for everyone involved because we all get to see everybody and it'll be, rolling out across the world soon too, which is great. Alternatively, don't forget you can use backchannel.tv. Will and I will be back on Thursday at 9 a.m. Eastern time, which is 2 p.m. in the UK. We'll be feeding into the Facebook Live again, so it'd be great to have you there. Will, who's up next?
Oh my goodness, later on today we have the Ed and David show. That's from 12 p.m. Eastern time to 2 p.m. And then at 2 is Your Pal Hal with Hal Rudnick from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Happy holidays. I hope you're enjoying your week and we'll see you Thursday.